Yeah, I mean, George and I each day talked about different things, and that's just how it turned out.
Was anything close at all today?
No, I think we discussed a few things, but all good.
How did you guys take stock of the receiver, going into this? A lot of buzz just around.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that. We've invested in, we like this group and where we're going.
Hey, welcome to DMac SMaK for November 5th, 2025. We like this group and we like where they're going. Well, the Broncos didn't do anything at the trade deadline. Are you okay with that? We did see some movement, and we saw Jalen Waddle stay with the Dolphins, and we saw some action go on, but the Broncos weren't touching it. Reportedly, the Broncos were in on some conversations, but the price of business was too much. So we like this group. We're staying with it. I would have liked to seen some improvement somewhere. I don't think it needed to send some sort of message. I would hate to see, the Colts just went for it. Using 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, that is going for it. The Jets had a fire sale, getting rid of Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, 2 incredibly good players. So, but on the same hand, the Broncos weren't sellers either, and normally they are. Overall, even though there were a ton of trades, there's more and more trades happening at the trade deadline than ever before. The Broncos not being involved this year is okay. They're 7-2. They're in first place. They should win relatively easy tomorrow night. It sets up a bit of a bye week before you take on the Chiefs at home before their bye week, their official bye week. So it's been a great, great run. In terms of managing things, we'll get to that in a second. Plus, we'll get to Prime as he announces, dog or cat, a new starter. The Avalanche have a great win last night. All to come here on DMac SMaK. We're brought to you by our great friends at Journey Spice. Just use this QR code. It'll take you to Spice Heaven. Save yourself 10% using the code GETSPICY at Amazon.com. It goes great on every single meal that you can imagine. From breakfast, lunch, to dinner, nothing is better for you than Journey Spice. They got newfangled packaging equipment. Oh, thank God for Rosa. And this is where you win. Journey Spice. More on Journey Spice in a little bit. Let's get to Sean Payton and what he thinks about this short week and how they're doing and what they're getting prepared for. Sean, what's happening, baby?
What keeps you up is, here's a short week. Am I going to get enough look at the red zone? Before practice, short yardage. Last night, normally we would start on, our base and then work all day the next day on it. Last night, this is Monday, we did base and then moved on to third down and 2 a.m. And so when I get home to sleep, I sleep good because it's late. And then today, goal line, short yardage, red zone, that's tonight. And then now this year we don't travel. And then we got to be smart about the install, on a short week.
Yes, Sean.
They talk about it like it's rocket science. I don't know. It's a short week.
We've learned a lot relative to the recovery and our league in general. And I say this about teaching, but it's no different than any other. There's constant advancement, how important the sleep is, how important some of these units that we've invested, in our, the walkthrough, all of those things are things maybe years ago that we weren't as knowledgeable with.
I got to admit, my favorite thing about Sean is the amount of thinking that goes into every decision that he makes. It's based off experience, it's based off research. There's nothing that's happening with the Broncos that's just by gut feel. Not really. And I actually love that. In fact, Sean is even more specific about short weeks and halftime leads mean more.
Playing well early is important. Halftime lead is important. Halftime lead is much different compared to halftime lead in regular season. I think we've begun, like anything else, you begin to adapt to it, and it is what it is.
That's awesome, man. Okay. Something to look for, guys. You want to make sure the Broncos have a halftime lead, which will give them a better chance on a Thursday short week rather than a regular season. Who knew? But I'm glad Sean does. Meanwhile, a big conversation this week is about Bo Nix. It is conflicting because, like Tebow, at the end of the day, winning's the bottom line. How it looks for 3 quarters, bit of a mystery. Now, against the Cowboys, it was incredibly consistent. But yeah, you got to win, which is the most important thing. But against the Texans, it was a pile of hot garbage until you needed it the most. Most interesting, the Broncos were scoring outside of the red zone. Who needs the damn red zone? And here's Bo, who's freaking hysterical.
3 in a row and adjusting.
Well, we thought we would save all our red zone plays for the next couple of weeks and didn't want to show any of them. So we decided we'd score from a little bit further out, easier on guys, get off the field. But I think it's just, we got some playmakers. We got guys that can go the distance. We don't have to necessarily be in the red zone to score. And that's what's, honestly, as an offense, you don't want to always have to score in the red zone. You want to have these explosive plays that you score and you get off the field. RJ continues to make cool plays, especially out of the backfield. We've seen Court do it time and time again, and we're going to continue to see that. But, I think it just shows that you may miss one, but you come back, you hit the next one. You may miss another one, you come back and you hit the next one. You just continue to find ways to hit the next one, and you don't worry about what you've missed or what plays have gone by. You got to focus on hitting the next one. And right now, that's where our mindset is as an offense and as a team. We're all focused on the next one. What's next?
Well, that's the right way to go. And hey, man, I'm a fan of Bo Nix. I really am. I think these issues that they're having will straighten themselves out. There is too much talent and now too much experience, and winning in the clutch is so hard to do. So if you had to pick out something that, hey, my guy has, and he needs to work on other things, winning in the clutch would be number one. And that was what the conflict was with Tebow. Because he did figure out more times than not how to win in the clutch. But Bo's a far better quarterback. So we go with Bo. And yes, scoring early would help a lot, Bo.
I think, if we can find a way not to have to play the number 1 defense in the league, that might help. But, they're trying to keep us from scoring at the same time we're trying to score. So it's not easy. And we found ways at times. And the good thing is we've fooled guys like you to believing that's easy at some point in the game. So I think that's, we always want to score every drive. That's, point blank period. That's our goal. Sometimes we fall short of that goal and we have to, rely on the next drive and go score the next drive. But, I think at times we execute better than others, and then we just got to find a way to execute all of them like they're the most important thing ever. And we're always really close, and so that's the good thing.
Again, that is Bo being freaking hysterical. He is freaking hysterical with his snarkiness. No. Cortland Sutton boils it down a little bit easier. We just got to lighten up a little bit. Lighten up, Francis.
We have been in these situations. Some we wish that we weren't in, but you kind of have to play the cards that you're dealt. And some situations we put ourselves in some of those situations where we have to come back later in the game, and we've seen it. Once you've experienced it, and you've seen it, you know that you're capable of doing it. You have the right guys around you that also believe that you're capable of doing it, and it's just about going out there and doing it. And I think that we had that same mentality and mindset even going into halftime. There was no. I think Coach had made a comment about it after the game. There was no point in that game, even when we were down at halftime, where we felt like we couldn't come back and win. And I think that's what allows us to be able to go out there and play free.
The belief in yourself is really, really powerful. And it's not like we're expecting something to go wrong. That's like a Rockies mentality. I know we're winning now, but what's about to happen, that's bad. That's not how the Broncos feel about things. keeps them looser, keeps them more confident. Demonstrated ability. It keeps this Broncos team a contender. Now, if you're worried about something falling apart against a better team in a big time, yeah, okay. I mean, I get it. But you can only play who's on your schedule. So you got to ride that wave like Ophelia.
It's great. I mean, obviously, if there's a need, you want to get it, but we feel like we got all the pieces. And so sometimes when something like that happens, it shakes things up, and we got something good going, and we just want to keep riding this wave and finding ways to win.
So there you go. Tomorrow night, tonight, we'll have Altitude After Dark with me and Coach Sanford to preview the game. Then the post-game show on Altitude TV. And after that, and I don't even know how we're going to do this, but me and Mike will be back after the game. I don't know what the hell time that's going to be. We'll see. We'll try to figure it out one way or the other. I don't know, though. I don't know. But we'll do our best for you. Meanwhile, here's the Riz. Darren Rizzi, special teams coach extraordinaire. He always has a sore throat because he's screaming at people not to screw up. Here's the Rizzler.
Playing or you.
Yeah, well, I think the two are a little bit different, Mike. I'd be happy to talk about this one. I think the challenge for us, when I say us, I mean the 32 coordinators in the league, is when you get to this part of the season, all the moving parts, the injuries, all that stuff. And so, as a coordinator, special teams coordinator, managing guys' roles during the week. And that's where we ran into a snag the other day in the game. We had a couple times where the 11th guy's running out late, which we can't have. And listen, guys' roles changed. Obviously, we've been fortunate, through these first 8 weeks of not having a ton of moving parts, and then all of a sudden we lose a few guys for this game, and then, roles change. So that's where I've got to be better, players got to be better, we all got to be better on the substitution part of it. That's what Sean was alluding to. Just guys, running out late. We had some guys on the bench that were supposed to be on the field, things like that. So, listen, I've always prided myself on being an organized, disciplined guy. I think you guys probably know that about me by now. And so those are things we got to get cleaned up, and we will. We'll get that done this week, and we'll get all that stuff.
I don't know anything about you. All I know is something weird happens every single week on special teams that feels like it's stupid. He's been working as a special teams coach for 33 years, 17 in the NFL, and we can't get the right amount of guys on the field because there's an injury or two. Wait, that happened more than once? I thought it just happened one time. So the 11th guy was sitting on. Okay, I mean, I don't know what to say here. But my experience covering the NFL for, I don't know, since the mid-90s is that special teams get so ridiculously overcomplicated. But the Rizzler, he's got excuses.
See that.
I think it's on all of us. I think it starts with me. I'm the special teams coordinator. So, and I appreciate the compliment. But I've had rough patches before in my career. I've been doing this for a long time. This is 17 years in the NFL for me, and 16 in college, and so 30 plus years special teams. You're going to have some peaks and valleys. I think one thing we have to do is we have to accentuate the positives. I know it may not look like that, but there's actually a lot of things that we're doing well. But we've got to help the cause more. We cannot. Be the reason that we're losing field position and things like that. But listen, it starts with me. Always starts with me as a coordinator, and it trickles down to the players. So I certainly take full responsibility on getting it cleaned up. I'm going to tell you right now that through my experience, I'm certainly confident in myself and my ability, and we'll get it cleaned up. And listen, the players are 100% bought in. There's absolutely no doubt about that. We've had some issues here or there. But along the way, we've had a lot of positive too. So we got to keep doing the positive things, but we've got to help the team more in these situations for sure.
You guys are a little more.
What is he talking about? We're not splitting the atom here. We're trying to get 11 guys on the field at the same time. It's funny, man. And listen, they moved on from Ben Kotwicka, who I liked. I thought he was a good guy. And Westhoff is gone, and you bring in the Rizzler from. Can you imagine that guy was actually an interim head coach? How did that go? Sean, though, hey, he's Sean's buddy. He is Sean's buddy, and Sean is here to defend.
Yeah, listen, we spent some time on it. You know, we had a video of the guys running on late, you know. So we showed that video in front of the team, and I said, this can't happen. Can't happen in nickel. It can't happen in base. It can't happen, so we really got to be on point. And sometimes the challenge, and this has never changed, when there's an injury or two and a core teamer is playing more on one side of the ball or other, are we getting the same focus still in the kicking game? And so we met with a few guys. Those guys are working, and we'll get that ironed out.
So we'll talk about.
All right, I'll take their word for it. But I will tell you, dangerous. Raheem Mostert is that right? Mostert? He's been in the league forever. And he is a really, really good kick returner. In fact, he caused problems for the Jags multiple times. So the Jaguars had multiple breakdowns on kickoff coverage. So just a heads up, the Raiders are good at this. Mostert is good at it, and Rizzy knows he's good at it.
Even the Raiders in that game the other night against Jacksonville, there's 3 50-plus yard returns in that game, and this we're all seeing this dynamic kickoff, how it's playing into these games, and how much of a big deal it is. We're just about 80% right now for the for the return rate, so it's really changed. I looked at the stats this morning; it's amazing. If you compare it to 2 years ago to the old rule till now, how much different these games are because of it.
Yeah, it's a good rule change. Just like baseball made good rule changes that make baseball better, the kickoff change is so much better. It really accomplished everything the NFL wanted. They wanted more returns, and they wanted to keep it safer. And what happens from that, and the fact that more often than not, the ball starts at the 35 rather than the 20 is really a good thing. That encourages more dynamic play, more scoring, more everything. It's good. It's really good. It's a better brand of NFL football. And if you can cover the kick the right way, if you can get the ball to land between the 2, the 3, something like that, there's a really good chance that you could tackle the returner before the 30-yard line, if not even better. And kickers are working with knuckleball kicks and balls that are just difficult to return because the arch of the ball or the hang time of the ball means absolutely nothing. It's when the ball is actually received. Then you go. So however that ball comes into your hands, it doesn't matter for the coverage. So the weirder you can be, the more directional, the closer you can put the ball in a corner on the kickoff, absolutely positively the better. But if you're in doubt and there's any issues whatsoever, just simply kick the ball through the end zone and start at the 35. You don't want a 50-yard return. You don't want to give away 15 yards if you don't have to. You'd love to pick up 15 yards, meaning you start at the 20, not the 35. But you certainly don't want the Raiders or any team for that matter starting at the 50. And Mostert could do that. He can. So just a heads up, everybody. The one thing, I want all the guys to be on the field, and I don't want Mostert to be breaking off huge chunks of change on kickoffs. You got it, Rizzler? The Rizzler. What a guy. Meanwhile, when we talk about the Raiders, there's not a lot intimidating about them, but Joe Lombardi does talk about Max Crosby. He's something to watch.
I mean, just the obviously he's got a ton of ability. He's so disruptive, but it's the motor that really stands out, like you said. I mean, just every single play, it's all out, and you can't help but just get distracted by him every play. You just watch, there he is again, just causing disruption, and just tough, great stamina, and just a motor that, every single play is 100%. And, there's a lot of guys that are dangerous, and sometimes they might pick and choose their spots, and he picks every single spot, and it's a problem. He eliminates a lot of things you want to do because of how disruptive he is. So, not a guy I wish we had to see twice a year, for sure.
All right, well, that's a heads up. Max Crosby has 5 sacks. I mean, the Raiders haven't done great in terms of quarterback pressure, but Crosby is good. And frankly, I'm not that worried about it. I mean, what Bo and the offensive line have done the best in the league is avoid sacks. It's he's a good player, not terrifying, but good solid player. There's nothing that's terrifying about this Raiders team. In fact, they themselves were sellers as they traded Jacoby Myers to the Jags for a couple of low round draft picks. He's not even the best Myers on the team. Well, it's not. It's Michael Mayer or Meyer. I'm not sure how you say his name, but he's the other tight end. They are tight end heavy. They had 29 pass completions in the game against the Jaguars. 12 went to Brock Bowers. 3 went to Michael Mayer. So in terms of wide receivers, you've got Trey Tucker, small little, dude. You've got Tyler Lockett. You've got Thornton Jr. You got a bunch of and you just traded Jacoby Myers because it's not what they're about. They're about Ashton Genty. They're about Brock Bowers, and he's healthy now and had a great game. And even Michael Mayer is sort of that next guy. Those are their offensive weapons. If you get beat by Trey Tucker, kind of shame on you. And that's who Geno Smith is focusing on. Basically, Brock Bowers. So the Broncos did shut down Jake Ferguson, but Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are much bigger targets. Brock Bowers is their number 1 receiving target. He's it. That Ferguson, although he's a great tight end, he's not their number 1 target. So the fact that the Broncos shut down Ferguson and the Cowboys is good. However, it doesn't give you a template necessarily to shut down Brock Bowers. And VJ did confirm last year, they just put Surtain on Bowers. And you're not going to have Surtain this week. So heads up. And VJ knows how talented and how dangerous Bowers can be.
He's special. Obviously last year, the first game we played him, he kind of hurt us a little bit, a couple big plays. And the second time we played him, we put Patrick on him. I mean, he's that kind of a player. Watching this year, his obviously as healthy as his best game was last week, unfortunately for us. He had a big game again. I mean, he has got the size and the speed of an NFL receiver, but the size of a tight end. So the toughest job with him is getting him tackled. You can kind of cover him with a safety or a defensive back body, but can you get him on the ground? After he catches the ball. He made 4 or 5 big plays last week, with just catching the 10-yard spot route, and the rack after is major. So having a great plan to kind of get him rerouted early and just keep the coverage top down on him is going to be important to win a game.
Yeah, he's right about all of that, and I think the Broncos will actually be fine. I got the Broncos winning this game 31-13, and myself and Coacher will talk about it tonight on Altitude After Dark. That will debut tonight at 8:30 p.m. We'll hear from Prime announcing a new quarterback because, duh. Also, behind the scenes inside the locker room of an Avalanche sweet win against Tampa Bay coming up.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.
Spice, you're the best. Thank you, Andon and Rosa, and use the code GetSpicy at Amazon.com. That is Amazon.com. All right, let's go to see you, dogs and cats. You know what I'm saying.
Be a dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
All right, here's the big announcement about the starting quarterback.
What went into your decision to give Julian Lewis the nod this week?
Common sense. Common sense.
Huh? What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. The truth is he has 2 more games that he can play and still take a red shirt. You have 3 games left. Common sense, okay. I guess the common sense is what? I mean, whatever. I'm glad he's starting. West Virginia will start a freshman as well. They're 6.5-point favorites, so I guess it's in the realm of possibility. The game is at noon West Virginia time, which is 10 a.m. Prime had a hard time with the time zones yesterday, but they practice at 9 a.m. So as far as Prime is concerned, this is the best schedule they could possibly get because their body clock will be in tune already, theoretically, for what essentially will feel like a 10 a.m. kickoff. Meanwhile, Prime was asked again about, this is a Pat Shurmur question. The Muggle is being polite, but essentially it's ripping on Shurmur and Livingston a little bit when talking about changes in the play call.
Last week I asked you about changing responsibilities among your assistant coaching staff.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, those things happen behind the scenes. You tweak things.
Yeah.
At what point, though, after some of these losses, do you kind of lose trust in having the people in the right spots?
I might already change it and you don't know. I don't do stuff and blow the whistles in and make major announcements. Hey, I don't do that kind of stuff. I do it and I let you guys still take shots. You don't even know you may be shooting at the wrong target. So some things take place that you may not be privy to.
At what point?
Seriously, what the hell is he talking about? We certainly knew when Sean Lewis wasn't calling plays anymore. We've already made changes, and we gotta be what, psychics? Okay. It's a trip being up there, y'all. It's weird. I don't know how else to put it. It's just odd. Prime does talk about needing some better discipline out of his players.
We just got to be better with discipline. So that means guy late for breakfast, guy late for training room, late for this and that. That has to be an understanding that we don't do that because that stuff translates to the game. It translates to the field. It's your life. If you don't focus on the little things, the big things are going to falter as well.
I remember when I was at a recruiting trip at a camp, baseball camp, years ago. In fact, my son went to a lot of these in high school, and it was really fun. But the first one we went to was at the University of Arizona. Now, this is baseball, not football. But their idea at Arizona was, listen, we understand the kids have different schedules, so we'll have the kids sort of come in and come out depending on what. My point is that they didn't get hung up on little stuff. They certainly were concerned about the team being together for practice and what you have to do and what you have to accomplish. But they didn't obsess about small little crap that doesn't really matter. I thought it was a cool approach. Who was the coach at that time? It was Jay Johnson. Who's Jay Johnson? Well, he just won a national championship with LSU. So that's how that coach handled things. But we're going to be obsessed with what time we get to breakfast. Okay. How about tackling? That being said, keeping kids accountable and everybody accountable, that's a big topic these days. I love the back and forth that Prime had with Mark Kiszla. Mark is great. Mark is a really good reporter and kind of a sneaky question asker. But I love how he approaches things. Love it. So here we go with Prime and Kiz about the kids, the responsibility. And you have to remember, Prime is not making any of the athletes or coaches available to the media this week. He's protecting them. Let's listen in.
Hey, Coach. Mark Kiszla, Denver Gazette. With the changes in college football and players now being paid professionals, what in your mind qualifies as fair criticism for a player?
It is. Everything's fair. Everything is fair that you guys do until it gets personal.
Okay.
It's okay to talk about the performance. It's okay to talk about me in every realm. But when it gets personal, that's when you're stepping across the lines. You can't step across that line because We don't. If we get personal with you, it's going to be a problem. Because you're going to get sensitive, like we get sensitive in the part when you step across the line with the kids. So that's keep it football related, and we're good.
Okay, so.
Huh? What is he talking about? Listen, social media is going to be social media. And social media is nothing but personal. What? I don't even know who he's talking about. He already banned Sean Keeler. I'm probably next on the list. I'm lost here. Anyways, Kiz goes on.
Okay, so second part of that is you said come after you. After
Yes, sir.
That. As paid professionals, why don't you think players should speak for themselves in a situation
You can't.
like this?
You can't. You know what, my man? That's a great question. Let me tell you why. I have a fatherly spirit, and I have an overseer spirit. I'm trying to shield my guys from certain things that may harm them. I know the temperature of the room. I know if they can't handle this at this time. Certain guys can, certain guys can't. I can't differentiate those guys and tell you can talk to them, but you can't talk to them. I don't want to do that. So my job is to protect them and put an umbrella around them until I feel like they're ready for the attacks and the assaults and ready for the social media gambit, which they're dealing with right now. So that's just me being a protector, a guardian, and a father, which we all call coach back in the day.
John Tree.
All right, I could kind of respect that. I see where he's going. It's just so contrary to where they've been. That's all. I mean, protect them. I mean, they couldn't do enough media. They couldn't talk out to the outside more. And now we're being protected because we're being humiliated and embarrassed because people are leaving games, and you have scenes like this. That was during the fourth quarter. Okay, so you want to protect the kids. You're defending them. You're this, you're that. We got to show up on time for breakfast. And then Kiz gets to this interaction with Prime, which is fantastic.
Football is your business, but health is way more important. At least it is to me.
Football is not my business.
Okay.
Football is my passion, man. Football is like my lady. She's like my wife. Like I love her. I do. So it's more than business to me. Business is the other stuff. That's business. This is my heart is in this.
Do you feel, your health challenges has been as real as they get?
Yeah, but that ain't got nothing to do with the win and loss column.
You don't think so?
No. I ain't playing. I wish the world I could. Especially corner right now. We're short. I wish I could go out there and play corner right now. But no, but I got to do a better job in this whole thing. That's on me. So it has nothing to do with my health.
Does it change? Does your health issues change your desire to do this job at all?
No. I just told you when you said, what'd you say the first thing you said?
What?
This job was what?
Football's your business.
It's not my business. I told you I'm passionate about it. I love her. This ain't business. My relationships ain't business. They may end up in business like they have, but it's not business. They start off right. They end up in business. They start off right.
Last question.
I like your questions, man.
Hey, Coach.
I'm confused. I think what Mark was getting to is, will your health concerns make a factor in you continuing this job? And in a job that's really not going all that great, where you've been humiliated multiple times now, and we'll see what happens against West Virginia, Arizona State, and Kansas State. It's not going to be easy. That's for sure. So listen, I hope CU can get it together. The word salad of Deion Sanders is just that. I don't think you can try to make sense of it. And it's it's not a business. You get paid like it's a business, that's for sure. The kids get paid like it's a business. There's a lot of business on the Hill and on Pearl Street. There's a lot of advertising going on. Football is your passion. hey man, not to be too big of a jerk, but if football really is your passion, you can be like, I don't know, man, like Dave Logan and coach high school and try to win championships there. I think football's a passion for Dave. Now, it's a hell of a program he's got at Creek, and they're contending for state championships every year, but those are men who are involved with football because it's a passion. Volunteers, dads, moms, people that don't make any money from it. You can't claim that it's just a passion for you when you're collecting millions and millions of dollars. No, it's a job. It's a job, and a job is a business. And there's this it's just insane disconnect there. And Mark's question about health, and listen, Prime may have explained it, meaning I love this so much, it doesn't matter how I'm feeling. I'm going to figure out a way to do this because I just love it so much. Maybe that's what he meant. Who knows? But it isn't going great. West Virginia hosts CU Saturday. We'll be there for all of it. Moving on to the ice last night at Ball Arena, and tonight a fun game at Ball Arena with the Miami Heat in town. I was on 9 News earlier talking to my buddies Corey and Jordan. Erica was there too doing traffic, and I'm listening to the news, and it's awful. I'm here to spread good news. You've got the Heat in town tonight. You had the Lightning in town last night. These are the two teams that the Nuggets and Avs respectively beat to win their championships over the past couple years. The Lightning were riding the Lightning on a 5-game win streak. So to win 3-2 in a nice, tight, fun, exciting hockey game was incredibly rewarding. Here is Bedsy on the game.
Yeah, I think they played a tight defensive game. I think we battled to try to get there. I don't think, just from talking with our guys, there was a lot of guys sort of fighting to try to find their legs tonight. I don't think we had our best jump, but we played with a real good conscience, and we're committed on the defending side. We just weren't quite as quick on either side of the puck, offensively or defensively. So pretty proud of our guys because it seemed like it was a little bit of a grind tonight.
Corey? An optional practice today, the day off on Thursday, which is nice. Another practice there on Friday before they head off to Edmonton. It's really a light week. In terms of NHL hockey, this week is light. Then they have back-to-back games. We'll get to a potential goalie controversy in just a minute. Meanwhile, in terms of the scoring, Olofsson on a power play. It's putting the garbage in the can, Victor.
Obviously nice to get a goal there on the, I think the second power play. I think we had a great first power play as well. We had a lot of chances, and it's nice to get that goal on the second power play there of the night. And no, it got us going, and I feel good out there right now.
You crashed in the net on that first goal. When do you see that puck coming loose and coming out to you on that side?
I mean, I saw Nate just kind of crash in the net, so I just followed up the play and kind of came bouncing to me and just got a stick on it. So, yeah, it was nice to see that one going.
Very cool. He's been great. And he's been on fire of late, and that line is clicking. That's a power play goal, so it's, him on the power play. But we've heard a lot about his scoring abilities. And he pocketed his second goal of the game. Got a little bit lucky on this one. It's a misfire that goes to his stick, but that's a scorer's instinct just to be there and be Johnny on the spot. So a little luck goes a long way in hockey, no doubt about it. So at 2-1, you knew you needed that 2-goal advantage. And Ross Colton gets a breakaway. That doesn't happen often. Colton had a sense of humor about it afterwards.
I didn't get to play with him last year when he came back. I unfortunately was hurt, but I've just tried to be a sponge with everything he does.
Thanks. Ross, can you walk? I'm sorry if I'm late here. Can you walk us through the goal and what you're seeing in the movie?
Yeah, I just feel like good job by Nelly in defensive zone. I feel like we've been taking a lot of defensive zone faceoffs, so just harping on playing well in the D zone, and was lucky enough. I just saw a break, tried to spring the zone, and amazing pass by Sammy, and then I don't know, kind of blacked out a little bit, just tried to make a move, fortunately went in.
I blacked out a little bit. You gotta love the sense of humor, the self-deprecation of hockey players, man. That is part of their culture.
You're in that situation, they take it wide, cut across the net.
Nah, I don't get enough breakaways to say that's a go-to. So I just, like I said, tried to freeze him a little bit, held on to it long enough. I think it hit the post, and then got lucky that it hit his back skate and went in. So I'll take whatever I can get.
It's pretty funny in hockey how much of it is just luck. I mean, you've got to put yourself in a position to get lucky, but who knows what's going to happen. That being said, it was interesting in terms of the decision-making on the goaltender. So Jared Bednar had a choice. He could have gone with Mackenzie Blackwood, who is supposedly the starting goalie, but was injured and has been slow coming back. He is healthy, though. He is healthy. He may not be like in top form, but he's not injured right now. He is the backup. Or Scott Wedgwood, who, I mean, you're 8-1-5. Wedgwood's obviously been fantastic. So this is interesting how Bednar went through the process, even yesterday, of the decision to go with Wedgwood over Blackwood.
Yeah, good question. Because I just talked with with Blackie about this morning. Like, he hasn't had a lot of practice. I mean, could have easily went to Blackwood today, right? But Wedge has been playing good. He's I have a lot of confidence in his game right now. Team's playing well in front of him. So I want to see Blackie, look sharp in practice, make sure his focus is there. He's been lacking the 5-on-5 type game-like situations because we haven't practiced a lot. Was hoping to get a bunch of practice in this week. We'll get some, and we'll get our guys some rest so we're fresh going into a back-to-back. And then we'll just evaluate his games and see how it goes. He's going to play a lot of hockey here yet. It's a long season, so I'm not in a rush, but he's also missed a lot, and I want to get him up to speed and playing. So there'll be a little bit of give and take there.
Corey.
Okay. Your starting goaltender then is Scott Wedgwood. It's not a 1A, 1B sort of thing right now. It's not. It's Scott Wedgwood and then Mackenzie Blackwood. Blackwood will play for sure because there's back-to-backs. But when there's a choice and it's about winning that game, and that is the bottom line, okay? That is the bottom line. You need to play the best player as often as possible, and that's Wedgwood, not Blackwood. So that's a shift. It's not major, but it's a shift. When we had Darcy here and Francouz, when Darcy got hurt, yeah, okay, you went to Francouz. But if both players were healthy, it was always Darcy. It was never Pavel Francouz over Darcy. Never. But last night, it was Scott Wedgwood over Mackenzie Blackwood when both were healthy. There you go, Scott.
A couple pucks squirted there at the end, and they went back to Hedman, and obviously straight on me versus him. He probably doesn't want to take it with the amount of bodies were there. They go back to Kucherov, and I think, just Kale's read, take away the outlets and stuff like that. So he went down, Kuch shot it, I sealed, and you can just see him win. So I don't know where it got him, but that's what you need to win hockey games right now, and it's going to come up huge at the end of the year. So hopefully that bruise is not too often, but it's much appreciated.
Scott Wedgwood's a great dude. Fun to talk to him. Congratulations.
Yeah, obviously, you want to prove yourself every night and give guys a chance to win. But there's guys that get paid a lot of money to be really good in this league, and I think I do well against them. Obviously, Kucherov gets a puck caught in his body and quick little bounce there, and he made a smart play to wrap it quick. And then point, that's a hell of a backhand. I don't know, what you're really supposed to do on a shot like that. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap and go back to work. But their two top guys score, and what's going to happen, but I'll give up 2 on a win night any night.
All right, very cool. So they're got a couple days off, which is highly unusual. Back-to-back games over the weekend. Don't forget about Between the Pipes with Raj and Spring as the horn sounds after every single game. For basketball, it's In the Paint with Dan Tanner. We got you covered not only on the radio, the home of the Avs and the Nuggets, but on the digital as well, right here. So make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and enjoy a victorious day as we get fired up for the Nuggets and the Heat. And tomorrow, the Broncos host the Raiders.